Hi everyone, welcome back to Lions from Lambs. I'm Rob Malone. I'm an elementary school teacher, I'm a student of Human Moves, and for the past 25 years I have studied success, specifically what it takes to be successful in this world, a feat that's becoming more difficult with each passing year. I've coached children, teenagers, and adults to work on themselves to develop stronger mindsets and greater paths toward success for them. Today I want to talk about children. This channel is specifically devoted to parents and caregivers who wish to help their children carve out a path of success for them and avoid the pitfalls that await them, especially when they become teenagers and even on into college years and beyond. What I want to talk about today is children must know that they are important. Now, that seems like it's pretty straightforward and common sense. Of course, children need to know they're important, but sometimes as adults, we miss the little things, right? Because children, from age 0, birth through, say, 10 or 11 years old, their brains, and specifically their subconsciouses, are scanning everything in the world. They're taking every single little trilobite of information in and they're storing it, and that shapes their personality. So while it may seem like we are making our children feel important, providing for them, playing with them, smiling at them, being friendly, there are little instances that unfortunately go against our goals. What I'm specifically talking about is you want to make sure your child feels like a celebrity. I'm not talking about entitled. You don't want them to. I'm not talking about saying, "Oh, you're a little princess. My child can do no wrong." No, that's absolutely the wrong way to go about this. They need to be held accountable for their own actions, for their decisions, but what they need to know is that they are important in your life and that you are happy that they're here. Because all too often the stresses of life can seep in and they can really put strain on the familial bonds. And when you're raising children, maybe you have 1, 2, maybe 3 kids or more, that amplifies and compounds that pressure. So we want to make sure as adults when we are venting that we vent out of the vicinity of our children, because even a slight comment as, "Man, I wish this child would go away for an hour, I'd be fine," that, although an innocuous, very throwaway comment with an adult perspective, from the perspective of a child, that can lodge in their subconscious and really cause damage that may not manifest for another 10, 15, or even 20 years into that child's life. So you want to make sure they know that you are happy there in your life. What this does is it builds their inner self-confidence. Just like negative talk and harmful talk and verbal abuse can damage a child's psyche and cause them harm later on in life, positive talk and real, true shows of compassion and love and caring and nurturing can really bolster and fortify a child's self-confidence. Because they realize, you know what, my mama, my daddy, my auntie, my nana, my caregiver, whoever it is who is in their life, cares. And they're not only do they care about me, they're happy that I'm here. I make their lives better, right? And a child may not articulate it that way, but their subconscious is certainly doing all that, all those computations. So it builds their self-confidence. The reason this is important is because your primary window of opportunity is from birth to age 10, 11, maybe 12. Right? Because once they become teenagers, that coincides with them hitting middle school. Once they get to middle school, their peers will take a far greater role in influencing them than their caregiver or parent will, even even teachers with whom they'll be, for 7 or 8 hours during the day. Even teachers don't hold as much of an influence on teenagers. That's why middle school is a very, very difficult age range to teach. And so if you know a middle school teacher, salute them, because it's very, very difficult. But and that's simply because of, again, the children they're no longer children, but they're not adults yet. And they're trying to make their way in the world. So if we've done our job right, though, in the elementary years, age 0 through 10 or 11, it goes a lot smoother for them. There's always going to be difficulties in the teenage years, but if they hit those teenage years with strong confidence and values, which will have been built by you, making them know they're important for their entire childhood, then they're able to stand up to the negative things that they'll encounter when they hit middle school. Drugs, crime, relationships, toxic relationships, sometimes peer pressure. If they've got a strong core, they can stand up to those things a lot better than if they've kind of hit those years kind of flying around not knowing where they are. So even if they make mistakes, now it's human to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's part of growing. In fact, if you don't make mistakes, you can't really grow. But if they do make mistakes, they will at least come to you because you have built that bond. If they know that you are happier because they're here, they know they can trust you and they will come to you. And if you've got a teenager who will come to you when they're having trouble or issues or they've made a mistake, well, you've struck gold as far as parenting goes, because most of the time that's not the teenage, that's not the first resort for a teenager. Usually they'll go to their friends, and again, their friends are learning as well, and sometimes their friends are learning the wrong way and they have bad intentions either way. So you want to build those bonds of trust with you, but also build their self-confidence. That way they can stand up to the negative influences. Also, they can stand up to bullying in 2 different ways. One, if they're self-confident teenagers, they can certainly stand up to anyone who tries to bully them. But if they've got strong values and they realize, hey, this is wrong, they can also stand up for other children who are being bullied. And that's a major issue nowadays for teenagers to face. There's bullying both in person and now, of course, this insidious trend of cyberbullying, which has cost far too many children to either hurt themselves or take the ultimate step and end their lives. So it's a very, very important issue, but we can all be part of the solution to that, again, by raising strong children. The first step to having strength is having self-confidence. You can build that by letting your child know they are the most important thing in your life. They are the most important thing, but it's important to let them know that. So thank you very much for your time. If you've made it to the end of the video and you find some value in the content, please click like on the video. And if this is the kind of content, if you're a parent, caregiver, or even if you're in the life of children, if you're a coach, teacher, perhaps like myself, click subscribe, because there'll be more videos coming out with these kind of topics. I'm super passionate about helping children grow into successful adults, because these children are the future. And that's not a cliche. They really are. In 10, 15, 20 years from now, current children are going to be leaders in the world. They're going to be the politicians. They're going to be the lawyers, the judges. They're going to be police officers. They're going to be doctors. They're going to be, people building society. So it's super important that we get this right, that our generation gets it right. So I'm super passionate about helping anybody who is of like mind to do that. So thank you very much. Click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll be releasing videos regularly. Thank you for your time.